Good afternoon, everybody. Good evening, more likely. It's been a long working day for me today. So, agenda for the work session for today, Tuesday, March 19, 2024, and we'll be calling the meeting to order today at 7 p.m. We do have three of us here, so I'll call it to order. And let me see, I just saw somebody else join us right now. And as the rest of the council comes in, so go ahead and join so we respect the time of those that are here. All right. So I'd like to call the meeting to order. And once you guys see Jared and Luke online, please let me know. We go at them, okay? Valerie Woodall.
I'm here.
Danielle.
Here.
All right. And I'm here. That's three of us.
Jared
We're going to I'm sorry?
Jared just joined. Sorry.
Oh, you got lucky, Valerie, by a lick of a hair. And Jared Stoffes?
I'm here.
All right, perfect. Jerry, should I join it 1 minute later? Valerie will have to review the whole agenda. All right. We're going to do a review of the agenda. That is 5 minutes. Mayor and Council will review the agenda for the meeting, adding or deleting topics of interest or discussion. Jared, can you go ahead and read the agenda, being the next seasoned council member on deck?
Yeah, sorry, I'm adjusting my
spring
camera.
mode.
Okay, there we go. There, sorry about that, guys.
You're fine.
Different home office setup. Number one, call to order. Number two, review of the agenda. The mayor and city council will review the agenda for the meeting, adding or deleting topics of interest or discussion. Number three, presentation discussion on the farmers market in Mount Rainier. Mr. Gary Hall and Miss Megan Abbott will make a presentation on the farmers market for residents of Mount Rainier to the mayor and council. Number four, update and discussion on 3200 Rhode Island. The mayor and council will receive an update from Mr. Fatih Gunnar on the 3200 Rhode Island property. Number five, presentation and discussion on building application for 3001 Taylor Street, Mount Rainier, Maryland. The mayor and council will have a presentation on the owner, from the owner of 3001 Taylor Street. Number six, update and discussion on the city's rent stabilization. The mayor and council will discuss extending the deferment of the city's rent stabilization effective date. Number seven, update and discussion. Number 36, the mayor and council will discuss the status of projects. Number eight, presentation of minutes. The city clerk will present the following minutes to the mayor and council. February 20th, 2024 work session, March 2nd, 2024 community conversation, March 5th, 2024 legislative meeting, and number nine, adjournment.
Okay, thank you so much, Jared. And all right. So you guys have heard the agenda. Anything you guys want to delete in this 2-hour plus agenda? No, we're good?
Nope. And I'm here, Mayor. Sorry I'm late.
Hi, Luke. How are you? So you just missed Jared reading the whole agenda, Luke. And he came in 1 second before it was Valerie's turn. It's all right. I see the timing, Luke. I see how you're playing this. All right, perfect. So if there's nothing to delete or add, we're going to move on to item number 3. Keep in mind, Council, we have a long agenda, okay? I want to make sure you remember this as you make your long proclamations and speeches, all right? I'm not staying here past certain time. All right, so moving on to item number 3, presentation discussion of farmers market in Mount Rainier. Mr. Hall and Abba will make a presentation on the farmers market for the residents of Mount Rainier to mayor and council. So do I have Mr. Hall and Miss... Oh, you guys moved my screen too quickly. Miss Albo here? Yes?
Yeah. Hi, can you hear us? Can you see us?
Hi, I could hear and see both of you guys. How are you guys doing?
Good, how are you?
Fine. So I'm going to cede the floor to you guys so you guys can make the presentation, okay?
Great.
All right.
Thank
Do you guys need screen share or this is something that you send to our team?
No, you have it up. That's great. Thank you.
Okay, perfect.
All right. So my name's Gary Hall. This is my wife, Megan Abbott. We live in Brentwood, just over the line from Rainier. And we're here to talk about a farmer's market that we hope to launch at the Bunker Hill Fire Department, the parking lot, starting the first Saturday of May. We have 2 young kids, and we've been connecting with a lot of people interested in sustainable food options in the neighborhood and have expressed interest in having a market as well. I work full-time in ecological restoration, but I used to work for Fresh Farm, which is a DC-based nonprofit that operates over 30 markets in the metro area. Megan is a civil rights attorney. So we feel like we have the know-how, the capacity, and the skills to bring this this market to the community. But we're doing this on the side in addition to our busy lives. And so we're very grateful for advice from council and grace from the community as we work our way through this process to try to establish a market that really serves the community.
So in terms of a market vision, and thank you so much for having us. So the Gateway Farmers Market will be every Saturday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Bunker Hill Fire Department in the parking lot from May 4th to November 30th. And the vision here is primarily that this is a place for farmers to sell food. We're doing this because we want to give farmers a platform to sell local, healthy food and for people locally to have another option to buy healthy food. But we also want it to be a space to support other small businesses that represent the diversity of the community, including food businesses and others. And in keeping with our area identity, the Gateway Arts District, we hope to build a strong arts focus with tent space available on a rotating basis to different arts entities. And we also plan to have rotating space for community public interest groups focused on causes like education, environment, health, or other civic causes. So for things like flu shots or voter registration or other school-related activities. And we'll offer space to those kinds of groups free of charge and would like to help promote them and support their causes. We really want this farmers market to be a gathering place, not just a place to get your veggies and run, but rather a welcoming place to listen to live music and sit and have coffee with friends. And as parents of toddlers, it's really important for us that this reliably be a welcoming space for families and a multi-generational destination for meetups.
In terms of planning, we're going to touch on a couple of things where we are, where we're going next. For market research, we're the only farmers markets in our area are 15 minutes plus a drive. So Tacoma Park, Silver Spring, Greenbelt, Cheverly, Brooklyn, DC. Not everyone can make it to the Riverdale market on Thursday afternoons. So we really feel like the Gateway market would be an asset to the community. Will be within biking, walking distance for most, and a short drive otherwise. Permitting, we have an agreement with the volunteers at the fire department. We have the support of the county fire department. We're working our way through with y'all, and we're waiting to hear back on our DPI application. It's a bit complex with the overlapping jurisdictions, but we're working our way through the process.
And we have submitted our application with Miss Alma already, and have spoken to everybody at the Mount Rainier City Council, city government that we think that we need to so far.
The city staff, you mean?
City staff, thank you. Yes, thank you.
We've also been in touch with Delegate Fennell's team to coordinate on the June 22nd health fair that's held at the farmers or at the parking lot. And we're planning on how we can complement each other and make space for the fair and also maintain the market at the same time. Parking is obviously a concern. We're planning to reach out to organizations and companies in the area that have parking lots within walking distance to see if we can work on an arrangement to provide parking for shoppers during market hours. If so, we'll advertise that. We're also working on food access. Most of the farmers and producers at the market already accept SNAP and EBT, WIC, and are welcome to do this at this market. We're currently working with Maryland Market Money to provide matching funds, but it's unclear whether or not we'll be able to do that as a first-year market. That's in the works. Gleaning is also a big component. We want to work with a lot of farmers are used to this also, but they, we want to encourage farmers to make donations of produce that doesn't sell that day to proper organizations to kind of help distribute that produce to the community. In terms of job opportunities, we've already been making connections with residents in the area and farmers and producers who are interested in selling at our market. There's a lot of folks who want to participate at the market, but staff is a limitation. So we're interested and excited about pursuing those connections as well. In terms of marketing, we plan to use a combination of signage, new media, hopefully some earned media, and advertising, both English and Spanish. We'll have signs on Rhode Island Ave and Bunker Hill. during the market days, and we'll be posting across social media groups and informing local papers. We also plan to flyer some of the high-density parts of Brentwood and Mount Rainier, especially the north end, further away from Rhode Island Ave, particularly in advance of opening day or in conjunction with particular promotions or events. All right, you're on the farmer slide. Okay, so these are the folks that we have on board so far. We've reached out to well over 100 farmers and producers. We think we have a exceptionally strong roster at the moment that are ready to anchor the market, and we're continuing to conduct outreach. This isn't entirely complete, as we're literally signing on new folks each week. Some of these businesses will come weekly, some will have a rotation schedule, but we still have plenty of space to support non-farm businesses and want particularly to support local businesses. You'll see a lot of businesses from Maryland, DC, and PG County in particular.
I think we've jumped ahead a slide, but I just want to emphasize that there were 2 slides there that were duplicative, but one had some businesses in bold. There's rightfully been a lot of interest in diversity, equity, and inclusion in the agricultural space in the last few years, and we want to be very transparent in our commitment to partnering with farmers and vendors that represent the diversity of our community and draw locally or even hyper locally where we can. And so that first slide includes all of the, well, not all of, but many of the businesses that have already committed to selling at market. And the second slide includes some entities in bold, showing businesses that identify as BIPOC owned.
Right. In keeping with the area identity, we hope to make space available for partners in the arts that feature local artists. We've not yet begun this outreach, and we appreciate council's connections and recommendations for this in the coming weeks. We also hope to host performance artists during the market and recognize that art is work, and so we're evaluating our budget for that and potential sponsorship opportunities to pay artists.
And in terms of community tables and community tents, we want to make that space available. I mentioned this before, but we really want to make space available to community public interest causes related to health, education, and the environment, and other civic causes. And Gary and I know that we can put together a farmers market, but we readily and humbly admit that we are not community organizers. So we know that there are many people in our community here that have been working deeply on issues related to food access, environmental justice, and so many other social causes for a really long time. And we hope to hear from these groups to see if we can use this market as a platform for their message or their services. And we hope to do outreach and make contact with those groups in the area in the coming weeks. But we are very time limited. Full-time jobs and parents of toddlers, as we mentioned. So we hope that if anybody hears about the market through this presentation or through word of mouth, that those folks that are interested in partnering with us can reach out directly.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I have one more bit. Just stop back on myself there. But in terms of council support, so we also wanted to say that we are very happy to offer tent space to the city to support your causes. We're not sure exactly what you all have planned for upcoming initiatives, but if it would be helpful for you all to table at the market from time to time, please let us know, and we'll love to see how we can support you to do that. And we do have a couple specific requests from council that we understand we may follow up with individually or through staff or through conversations today, but we know you have a lot to accomplish today. But we would really appreciate your insight, council, on any ideas for the market, on how to best engage and be responsive to the Latino community and especially Hispanic population and Spanish speakers, and also all parts of the city to make sure that it's an inclusive place for everybody that represents all voices and where everybody feels comfortable. We also would really appreciate your help in identifying partners to receive food donations from farmers at the end of market, if we can accomplish that kind of gleaning partnership that Gary mentioned. We would appreciate your support in identifying priority community health and education and environmental partners to feature at market if there's organizations that really are aligned with the visions and direction of council and the mayor at this point. And we'd also appreciate your support in identifying both arts partners and potential sponsors to fund arts engagement. We also hope to work with Mr. Ron from the Small Business Promotion and Plan. We've already been in touch with him. And finally, we would know that there are upcoming festivals for the city, and we want to think through how we can promote those and be a benefit for the events that you all have planned for Mount Rainier Day and Juneteenth and anything else upcoming this summer. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Melly, I have a question for you. Was the time done for their presentation or overall for the subject?
Overall, Mayor.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Okay, Council, at this point, I'm gonna request time to be added because the whole, I'll make sure that next time the presenters know they only have partial time of speaking when it comes to the time allocated. So can I go ahead and have 10 minutes on the clock?
So moved.
It's probably moving second. Any discussion? Objections, abstention, hearing none. I'm gonna go ahead and add 10 more. You said wisely, okay? Luke, I'm gonna go first with you.
Great. Thank you, Mayor. Excuse me. Just thank you for being here and presenting this to us and doing this organizing. I think there's a lot of support for a farmer's market in the community. I think it'd be fun to go to with my kids. So I don't have any questions at this point. Just work with Alma to make sure everything's done from a code perspective. And, you know, we can also get you linked up with our communications person to help promote what you guys got going on. So, and then our economic development director, Ron Hopkins, you should definitely touch base with Ron, and Mr. Kamali, our city manager, can get you in touch with all three of those. Thank you.
They've been in touch with both of them. So that's good. All right, Danielle, then Valerie Jarrett.
Thank you, Mayor. I'm really excited about this. I love farmers markets. I do have one question about the artists. Are you going to open up maybe to allow like local crafters to like get tables for like a week or two or whatever? And full disclosure, I'm a crafter, so I'm speaking for a lot of the crafters in the community. And I do hope that we're able to work with you guys for Mount Rainier Day, because I know that we use that parking lot for a lot of the parking for that. So my question though is about the crafters and other people in the community who may want to, you know, like sell things that they make.
Yeah, definitely. You know, I think first and foremost, we want this to be centered on farm, you know, food, but I think there's lots of space to make, you know, for everyone. So yes, we plan to set aside a certain number of tents, kind of in proportion to, you know, food and farm business coming in for community organizations and, you know, local artists, including crafters. So we'll manage a schedule of, you know, a rotating schedule, have like pop-up tents available so people can, you know, if you only want to come 1 or 2, you know, weeks, that's fine. But yeah, we can manage that, no problem. We anticipate that, yeah, and look forward to it.
Okay, so I think it's my turn. So thank you for being here and for presenting. I think this is awesome. I think it's great. I appreciate you guys bringing this to us. Just a few things. One, I would recommend that you also meet with the local PTOs and parent-teacher organizations of both Mount Rainier Elementary School and Thomas Stone. If you haven't already talked with Brentwood Council, I would present to them as well. And then my only question is, will you have a website that details kind of what's happening at the market each week?
We do. It's in beta right now, so it's not really ready for an audience, but it's on that. So right now our best contact is via our Gmail and Instagram, but there will be a website. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you.
Sorry, Selena, am I up? Oh, sorry. Okay, sorry, I couldn't see you. No, thanks to both of you for being here tonight. I think we're really excited that you're doing this and you're maneuvering. And you know, if there's any way we can, as you go through the permitting process, just let us know. I know you're working with city staff, and you're working with county as well. So let us know if there's any hiccups. I know you're already connected with Alma on code, and Ron on economic development. Your last note about sort of community engagement, the city does have a social services coordinator. So, maybe an opportunity to, if we're trying to reach out to residents or provide notice about different services in the county or resources available to residents, that might actually be a good place as well. So, but I'm really excited you're stepping up and providing this to the community of Mount Rainier and Brentwood and elsewhere. And thank you so much again for taking time tonight.
Thank you all so much.
So thank you. I think that most of my colleagues already said what to do. Definitely welcome. And I know it's a little hard because it's right between, well, I think all of your part is like in Mount Rainier, but we'll work through it. You know what I'm saying? I think the residents are very happy to be here, and we'll figure out how we're going to utilize the space you're also providing for the council. And if it's for the council, for the council and staff to be able to provide on it. I know our social service coordinator also has like a closet that she does for the community. So maybe that'll be a good place for her to come in. Does that mean they're going to be there every single week? Probably not. But that's something that our city manager, directors will work through to figure out what it looks like and figure out what could be done. And when it comes to events and stuff like that, regarding the dates that you guys have, is that what is pending on whether or not licenses are going to come through, right? They're going to start in May. How likely is that?
That's right. I think that everything is in place, and I think that we just need to, I think everything should be going forward with the permitting. We have very favorable response from the county, from the fire department, and everything. And then it will be a recurring basis every Saturday in May. Every Saturday from May to November.
Okay, because I think it'll be a good way for you guys to also connect with the churches. Some of them do food distribution. So that way, maybe some of that extra food that you're talking about could go to them. I think it's every other week they do a food distribution. One that happens to happen in Bunker Hill, the other one happens to happen by Rainier Elementary. So it's going to depend more or less what it looks like. Will help you coordinate with them. That's some of the work that I also do. And when it comes to the, I'll give you guys my contact so that way we could brainstorm when it comes to the community. I know you guys need additional help, and they guys request when it comes to Latino and the migrant community for them to know you're there and make it accessible as well. All right. But thank you guys for being here, and please keep in constant communication with our director, Arma Ferrufino, and our econ director, and as well as city manager, so that way we're able to cross the T's and dot the I's in order to make this happen. So thank you guys so much. All right.
Thank you, Mayor.
You're welcome to stay, but if not, have a good night. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Moving on to item number 4, update discussion on 3200 Rhode Island Avenue property. The Mayor and Council receive an update from Mr. Gunner on 3200 Rhode Island Avenue property. And you guys, I am so sorry. I've been reading essays for 4th graders since 9 a.m. in the morning all the way to 4 p.m. So it's been a lot of reading, and hundreds of thousands of essays have gone through this wonderful little eyes. So my eyes are really tired and beat. All right. So let me see. Are you here, Mr. Fadi?
I am. Good evening, Mayor and all council members. And with your
Hello.
permission, I have invited my team. And thank you for having us. We just would like
yours.
to.
You need sharing capability, or do we have your presentation?
No, we do not have a presentation. I have my team here online to update you and all council members where we are standing currently.
Go ahead. I'll see you the floor.
Okay. I would like to let Bill Maiden, my architect, to give us an update. Mr. David is also online, who is my expediter, as well as my civil engineer, Iyad. And at the end, Mayor, we are going to need your help with dealing with county. I believe each of them will request your assistance.
Okay, go ahead. The floor is yours.
Yeah, my name is Bill Maiden. I'm the project architect of record. And my video, I'm going to mute it, but that's me in person. The project is ongoing. We've submitted it to the county and to the third party group also. And we are in what I consider the last stages of the permit process. We have received a few back check comments from the county. And when I say a few, it's not a whole lot. It's things that we are working through as we speak. And at the mechanical, the electrical, the plumbing, the fire safety, structural, the back check comments are being worked on as we speak, and we are almost finished, I should say. And then it will go back to the county. These back check comments came from the county. So, and once that happens, we will be ready for permit, I guess. So the civil work is ongoing also. The civil work has a lot of different agencies to go through. And there were also some issues encountered on the site that the civil engineer has to work out or have worked out or being worked out. And he's here, and Mr. Isaac. And if you have questions about the civil, you can ask him. I'm the architect, so I'm overseeing the whole project. And we are trying to finish, almost at the end, almost at the finish line.
Okay.
But we would invite, like Mr. Gunner said, would invite assistance from the government of Mount Rainier to kind of help the third party group and us expedite the reviews at the county.
Okay. So Council, I'm going to have other speakers go first before we ask them questions, okay? So that way we can mobilize the process, all right? Okay, thank you so much. Who's the next speaker?
David, would you like to add anything? Or Mr. Riyad?
Yes, Mr. Garner, Iyad Isaac here, the civil engineer. I can provide an update on the civil site design. So as Mr. Bill Maiden mentioned, the civil is undergoing. So we prepared the civil site design for this project and submitted it to DPI for review. The civil site design included the site layout, the grading, access to the site, storm drain connections, stormwater management, and utilities, all submitted to DPI and has been reviewed. We addressed their comments, multiple rounds of comments, and it was approved, the site layout, several months ago. DPI requested a floodplain study to be investigated because the site is sitting in an area where the watershed is about larger than 50 acre, just over 50 acres. So the site is, the project requires to submit a floodplain study. So we did. We prepared a study and submitted to DPI also a few months ago and received comments. Comments are generally fair and minor. We're working on addressing these comments and resubmitting for review and approval. Back to DPI. The project has a little bit of complexity here because it sits on the upland of the area that is downstream, the neighboring area downstream. So the county and us as a civil engineer, we want to make sure there is no adverse impact or flooding in general to the development downstream, because we are changing the land cover from grass and other things to fully impervious. So we have measures to address that accepted by DPI, and we will have a green roof. We will have other system to hold the water and treat it before it discharged back to storm drain. And also because of the area to the north or in the alley is in depression, so that's kind of a sensitive area to not increase. It's already in ponding area there, so we don't want to increase any additional flooding. That's all addressed, and the project will not have adverse impact. So we have other agencies that we need from Maryland and the county and Maryland to submit and satisfy, get approval from them. And we are working on those documents right now. The first one is the Park and Planning from Montgomery County, CPPC. We prepared site plan and we prepared NRI, natural resource inventory, and woodland conservation documents. We have not submitting them, but we are getting ready to submit and receive the park and planning approval. The other agency from the county is WSSC for water and sewer connection, and it will require also coordination between site civil and the building architects. We have been coordinating, and we will work the final coordination as we move forward to the end. Also, we will have to submit to Prince George's County Soil Conservation for sediment control. That's one of the approval we need to get. We need to also receive approval from Maryland Department of Transportation, or SHA, State Highway, for work within the Rhode Island Avenue area. That is a state highway road. What are we doing on Rhode Island? Rhode Island is the storm drain connection from the site to the storm drain system, existing system, and also we have some sidewalk frontage that is within the state highway. And the other approval, which is the last approval, is also a state agency, and that comes at the end after the project is receiving final approval. That's Maryland Department of Environment, MDE, to obtain a general permit for discharge of stormwater associated with construction activity because of the project disturbed area is larger than 1 acre. And this approval will require a public notice, and it will take usually 1 to 2 months after we submit, after we almost receive all the other approvals from DPI and SCD, Soil Conservation. So that's all what I have. Thank you for listening, and I'll take questions if there is.
Mr. Fadi, is there anybody else you want to present on this item before opening up for questions?
I would like to ask David. I would like to ask David if he wants anything to add.
Dad, I think Bill did a pretty good explanation of where we are on the building construction documents, and on the site. Yeah, that is a fair appraisal of where things stand. One of the things you need to understand about a building permit with Prince George's County, they will not give you a permit to physically start construction on the building until all the site permits are pretty much done. So that looks like site permits is probably the critical path.
Okay. All right. So thank you guys so much for this update. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open it to the council members. I'm going to open it to Ward 2, since it sits right in the corner of their district. Okay. So Jared, Valerie.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for coming before council and providing the update of where things stand. I know, I guess we've been waiting, for some updates on this project for some time. I appreciate you all coming forth and providing this, limited update tonight. And I know we've been asking for updates on this for some time. So could you speak, two things. First, the last time you came before council, you had, provided an update, and Mr. Kamali or Ron, you might be able to help me with when it was. I'm trying to remember actually what year it was. I think it was in early 2023. On what the project what the project setup was and units and so forth. And I mean, I guess my first question is, kind of having been a year since you've come in and we've asked you to provide some updates, like what is the project different from what was originally proposed? And then I think the second question is, what is your, I guess, projected timeline on what things are gonna based on a
groundbreaking, Jared?
based on a project, based on what timeline you think is going to happen, when do you think, basically what's the timeline for the various steps in the project? Sorry. Thank you.
Bill, would you like to take this question?
This is Bill Maiden. I can answer one of those questions. The first one. The project has not changed from the beginning. The project you saw in the beginning is the same project that is now. There are no changes made to the project over the course of time. We're just going through the permit process. There are some, I would say, mechanical, detailed changes that does not affect the scope of work. It affects the permit process, but it does not change the project. So there are no changes in the project, in short. Timeline, I can't answer that. It depends upon Prince George's County when we resubmit. Unless maybe David can shed some light on that, but
my optimistic thoughts on the permits for the building itself is we're probably 6 weeks out still.
To submit them?
I think we're 4 weeks out to submit the revisions, and then another 2 weeks for DPI to hopefully bless it the last time through.
Jared, does that answer your questions?
Yeah, can I ask a clarifying question to the first one?
Clarify it if you need clarification for the answer.
The first, as presented and on your website, it was 97 units, 97 apartments, a 1 bedroom plus den, 2 bedroom luxury apartments, 117 parking spaces. I know originally back in the day it was going to be condos. I think you'd changed apartments just based on the market. Is all of that still true? Based on the number of units and everything else?
The number of units has not changed, but Mr. Garner would have to answer if it's going to be condos or rentals. I can't answer that question.
The current thoughts, we are planning to rent them.
All right, and then ground floor retail as well, correct?
Correct.
Okay, that stays the same. Thank you.
Okay, so to clarify, it stays same as it was presented. Jerry, we're good?
Yep, thank you.
Perfect. Valerie, go ahead.
Yeah, thank you. And thank you for presenting tonight. I think there's a lot of people that are very interested in this project. It sits at the very entrance of our city from DC, so it's a really important site to get right and to get done as fast as possible. Jared asked the questions about timeline. My question, first of all, obviously the site doesn't look great. Are there any plans to make it look better from now till 6 weeks till construction begins? And then on your website, it says that you're opening in 2026. Is that still the plan? And then my third question is, how much retail will you have on the first floor? I didn't see anything about that. So.
And last week we had another meeting with Mr. Kemali and Alma. We realized that the site doesn't look good, and we already started, defacing it. I know that I have asked numerous times to give me a chance to make it better, and I'm asking you one more time. Just be patient with me. About a week time, you will see the changes of the fences and the design. So my apologies, for this.
Okay.
Thank you.
Valerie, you're good?
For
Just
the retail,
yeah.
for the retail space, we are considering either seven separate retails or one large retail customer, core customer.
Okay, thank you.
Valerie, you good with your answers?
Yeah, I'm just hoping that we can stick to the opening of 2026 as
Okay, so
2026
council, after you guys go, I'm also gonna give space to Mr. Kamali and Alma and Ron to add anything if they want to ask questions as well, okay, as part of our team. But I know that Kamali and Ferrufino met with Mr. Fadi last week. Okay, perfect. All right, Danielle, Luke.
Yes, thank you so much for coming tonight and giving us an update. I know I'm new to the council. You didn't see me last time you were here. So I'm getting a lot of this information for the first time. I want to definitely, I definitely want to emphasize I'm excited to see an improvement on the aesthetics of the plot. You say that give you a week and we should see some things. So I'm very excited to see either movement being made towards construction or an improvement on the way it looks. And I want to echo Valerie in saying I'm excited to see it actually happen in 2026. So thank you very much for investing in our community. And I'm very excited to see this move along. Thank you.
Okay, Luke. You're muted, Luke. You were actually unmuted and then you muted yourself.
Sorry. I think I saw in the chat that we had 3 minutes remaining about 3 minutes ago. So just, do we need to add more time?
Oh, yes, we do. Can I go ahead and have 10 minutes on the clock?
Second.
Okay, any discussion? Objection, extension, hearing none. There's 10 minutes added to the clock. Go ahead, Luke, the floor is yours, and thank you for catching that before you start talking.
Yeah.
So I don't cut you off. Go ahead.
Okay. Have you guys done soil tests of the property?
We did. We have a geotechnical report done.
Okay. Can you send us that geotechnical report, please?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Can you send us that tonight or tomorrow morning at the latest?
Yeah, I will send it to Mr. Garner if he has your contact to
You
forward.
can send it to Mr. Kamali.
I'm gonna type the council's email address into the chat, and you can
So
just
make
email
sure-
direct to us.
Guys, can he send it to Mr. Kamali? Mr. Kamali will send it to us so that way he's the point person because he needs to see it as well.
Yep. And so I'm putting the city manager's email address in there. You can just, as I'm talking, send that right to the city manager tonight so we can have it in their inboxes in the morning. Thank you. And you said there was back and forth between DPI and yourselves on some of the designs, right? On some of the mechanical and the electrical, is that correct?
Yeah,
Is-
Bill made it. Go ahead.
Great. Could you send us tonight to that same city manager, MountRainierMD.org email address, the mechanical and electrical plans, as well as the comments from the county and your responses?
Yes, we can.
Great. And you can just send it to right in the chat. If you click on chat, city manager, MountRainierMD.org, that'd be great. Then we can have it in our inboxes in the morning.
But it will not be tonight. It'll be early in the morning when we send it.
Early in the morning is great. Thank you so much, Bill. I appreciate that. And I'm just going fast just for time's sake here. Then somebody mentioned there was SHA approval, MDE approval, and then DPI. And I just want to clarify all those timelines because somebody mentioned that DPI will not give a building permit until the site permits are received. And could somebody walk me through step by step the timing of what happens first, second, third between SHA, MDE, and DPI? And the approximate timing. You don't have to, I'm not going to hold you to the timing, but approximately.
I think, David, maybe you're the best one to.
Actually, I'm not, because the 6 weeks that I gave was for just the building itself. And I think the civil engineer needs to walk through all these site permits because I don't have a handle on timeframes for those.
Okay.
So, Luke, I'm going to ask you a favor. You could continue asking the questions, but if you could put everything you're requesting for on an email, it definitely will help. So Mr. Kamali, or you could send that out to them so that way they have a line of anything, and also means that if you need to send tomorrow morning, is fine if you think of anything after this initial discussion that you want to see as well. Okay.
Okay. So,
Anything else you want added to the list?
okay. Are you waiting on SHA or MDE for anything right now?
We are preparing the document to submit to them. We haven't submitted them yet.
Okay. Who do you submit to first, SHA or MDE?
MD is the last one.
Okay. So you submit
that's when, once we have the site plans approved, basically. MD is for general permit, or NOI, it's called notice of intent, and it's the final piece of the
Okay. So if I understand correctly, you need DPI to first approve the site design, and that's 4 to 6 weeks. Is that correct?
Now that was a number based on the building itself, not the site.
Okay.
And what I'm saying is the county will not give you a building permit for the building itself until the bulk of the site permits are approved.
Gotcha. What is the first site permit that you have to get?
DPI is the site civil design.
Okay.
And it includes the site layout, the grading, access to the site, storm drain, stormwater management, floodplain. That has been approved.
That has been approved. So that's approved.
Yes.
So what's the next one?
They requested, once we submitted to DPI, they requested floodplain. Floodplain was submitted and received comments. Comments are generally simple, minor comments.
Gotcha.
We're working on addressing them and resubmitting for floodplain approval. That will satisfy DPI. It could be just final tweaks after we finish everything to resubmit for final approval.
Okay, so floodplain comments and recent, how long will it take for the floodplain for those comments and submittals to go through? How many weeks?
The review at DPI for the first submittal, it took, I believe, 3 rounds of review. Their time is about 4 to 6 weeks.
Okay.
In addition to our time to address. So it took about 6 months just to clear DPI.
Gotcha. I'm trying to just focus on next steps here. So we've had the site civil approved. We've had the site layout approved. The floodplain is comments that we're resubmitting. It might take 4 to 6 weeks more to approve those. What is next?
Park and planning.
Park and planning. Okay.
CPPC, and that sometimes it's their review time about 3 months.
Okay, 3 months. So we are at about 5 months now. Okay, what comes after park and planning?
We may have comments and resubmit, but it will take a quicker resubmittal.
Comments and resubmit period. So we'll call it 1 to 2 months for comments to resubmit.
Yes.
Okay. What's next after park and planning?
Yeah, it's not next. It's at the same time, concurrent. Because once we clear DPI, everything is ready to go at the same parallel, basically. We don't have to wait for anyone. So MNC PPC can go, the WSSC can go at the same time.
Gotcha.
The SCD, which is soil conservation, same time. So all of this can be put into the county reviewer, because we know they take time and we have to address their comment and go back again, probably 2 more times. And then Maryland SHA at the same time also.
Okay, so let me get this right. So we've got the site civil and the site layout approved. On a parallel track, we're doing floodplain, we're doing park and planning, we're doing WSSC, we're doing soil conservation, and we're doing, is that right?
And SHA.
And SHA. Okay. And the entirety of floodplain, park and planning, WSSC, soil conservation, SHA, for that parallel track, that several parallel tracks, about how much time for that do we think?
Yes, typically the first review and then the second review and the third. The second and the third is quicker on the county because they have seen it. The first one takes time, but all together with our time to address comments and send back, about 6 months.
Gotcha.
Just like how we the same time to get the first one, the DPI.
So look, you have about 30
Okay.
Less than 30 seconds,
Thank
then
you.
that's
So-
stretching it.
And then, so 6 months, and then it goes back to DPI for the final site permit, right?
Yes, because we have to submit whatever changes will happen to get comments here and there. So we have to submit back to them too.
Gotcha. And how long does that final DPI site permit process take?
Fairly quick because they have seen it, they have approved it. Usually the first submittal, because it's just a new project to them, takes about time and more comments, and then we have to go back. So yeah, so it should be 1 month after we submit.
So 1 month, and then you go to MDE.
Yes, once I submit to SCD, the final review at the same time I submit to MTE, so they go those parallel.
Gotcha. So 6 months parallel tracks, 1 month DPI site permit, MDE 2 months. So we're looking at 8 to 12 months probably until we can start construction. Is that right?
Exactly.
Just the city.
If we move, yes, if we move in good directions, and yes, that's kind of fair estimate.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you for your question.
Okay, so
Appreciate
Luke, do me a favor, send the email out to Mr. Kamali with all documents that need to pass so that we get everything that you requested. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. And thank you for that. You cover a bunch of my questions, but it should be fine. So I'm gonna open the floor to Mr. Kamali, Alma, and Ron. Go ahead, Mr. Kamali, if you have anything to add or any questions you have, then Alma and then Ron Hopkins.
Thank you, Mayor. I talk to Mr. Fati every day, and he knows that I'm not gonna let him off the hook. I'll be there, and I try to first, fix the fence and the look of the property. And I'm looking forward to, see the permit and go, through the construction and build it as soon as possible. No, I don't have any question for him. I just talked to him, this afternoon. So he knows that I'm calling him every day until we get it
Mr.
done.
Kamal, I appreciate you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, and as a back of information for Eddie, Mr. Kamali does this type of work, and he has experience on it. So as they were going step by step, I saw Mr. Kamali shaking his head because that's a lot of things he has to do as well. So that's a lot of his forte as well. All right, Alma, floor is yours.
Good evening, Mayor and Council and City Manager. Thank you for having me here. I do not have any questions. Me and Mr. Fati had a conversation the same day with Mr. Kamali. So we are in line with what is expected from him, and definitely we do appreciate him coming forward and actually giving us this presentation for an update. If I have anything else for him, I'll definitely reach out to him from Code.
Perfect. And please, Mr. Fati and your whole team stay in contact with our team as well. Ron, anything?
So I put something in the chat. I know everyone had mentioned earlier on Fati's team that they wanted some assistance from the city. So my question is, what type of assistance do you require from the city? And secondly, have you been in contact with Linda at H&W Printing to actually print the commercial billboards, and when will they be installed?
Ron, thank you. We are in touch with Linda. Finally, she responded my email. I sent her a separate email afterwards. She's going to work on the design. And I very much appreciated Mr. Kamali promised me that in any meetings that needed, he will be there with us. And also on behalf of Mayor, he said, I will make sure if Mayor is available, she will come over as well to talk to county or permitting departments.
All right, perfect. I'm going to go ahead and add for 5 more minutes to the clock.
And I just quickly, I just sent the
Hold on. Wait. Time has run out, and I need to Council to put some time on the clock. Council, I need 5 more minutes on the clock.
Second.
Okay, any discussion, objections, abstentions? Here none. So I'm going to say my piece, open out to the community to see if they have anything else to add. I think you already heard clearly from council and staff, and I talked to you, Mr. Fati, as well as some members of your team. They want to see this project moving forward. It is right in the corner of our city. And step one out of the whole list of 1,000 things that needs to happen is make sure the space is clean and presentable, right? Because, I hate having to drive there every day and seeing the way it looks like. It really hurts my heart because that was part of the original agreement. I want to make sure that out of this meeting, we move forward and not stay still, because staying still is not going to help none of us make sure we achieve our goal. Okay? So I need to make sure you follow up with our team. I think we have made ourselves very accessible and to follow through the next steps, but I need to make sure you also follow up on your end. And we'll definitely will appreciate that, as we value and treasure our city very much. And I'll tell you this, it's very important for that project to move for all of us. Okay?
Okay. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, so I'm going to open up to the community. Okay. So let me see. Mario Cisneros, your comment was already answered. Do you want to say it again or no? You're good. The drawings, what kind of buildings going up in the corner? Do you have a website? So Mr. Hopkins did put the figgroup.us project, and I think it's also in the economic development site in the city as well. The apartments, condominiums for rent, I think that was answered. What's going to happen to all the old leftover construction material? So can you guys answer that question? Because there's a lot of construction material left there.
We are hoping to use them in our project.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What is the site allowed to be used as a staging area for building materials? It looks horrible. All right. So are this material you guys are using for this building? Are you guys using it as a staging area? What are you guys doing with that material right now?
The original plan was why we bought bulk. In fact, we imported bulk tiles. We were hoping that we would have gotten the permit and we would have started the construction. On right hand side of the property, if you are facing to the property, we have all waterproofing materials also dedicated for this site.
Okay. So there is a boat there that's not supposed to be there, because it's not a boat space. So if there's a boat there, it has to be it has to find a new home. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Perfect. Anybody else from the community? State your piece. Kira Austin, what is the likelihood that the leftover construction material is actually in shape to be used?
It is not used. It is brand new.
I think they're saying if it's damaged because it's been there too long. It's a damage because it's been there too long. I guess that's what they mean.
It's a porcelain tile. It is weatherproof.
Okay. Thank you so much. And guys, I read it pretty quickly because I have very little time to go, but next time, please add your block number. I know who you guys are and I know exactly where you all live, but for the record, please. All right. Anything on Facebook? Jared with a D. All right, perfect. So anything else, Council, before I move on? Say your piece. We're good? Okay, so thank you so much for coming tonight and bringing your team to make sure to answer the questions and continue to work. I know you met with Mr. Kamali and Ms. Ferrufino as well. Continue that line of communication so that way puts us at ease that things are going to happen, and obviously submit the documents that we're waiting for. So we have better understanding behind scene of what's happening. We have better answer for our community members. Mr. Kamali, you have something else to add?
Yes, Mayor. I would like to ask, Mr. Fati to come back sometimes, 3 months from now and, give Mayor and Council another update. That
was going to be my next point, but thank you for making sure I got it. I was saying something nice before I got there. So you will work with us, Mr. Fati and Mr. Kamali, to make sure we put you in the agenda right here in the next 3 months. But please, if you do need to come in earlier to give an update, feel free to request to come in earlier. We're not going to hold you to, if it's less than 3 months, we'll be happy to have you. But we look forward in actions speaking louder than words. So as long as we see progress moving, you're going to keep us very happy and a lot less concern and stress. So we do appreciate you being here tonight, and have a wonderful night. Okay?
You too.
Okay, thank you, guys.
Thank you so much indeed.
Thank you.
Have a good night, Mr. Fadi and entire team.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. So moving on to the next number. Okay. Presentation discussion of building application 3001 Taylor Street, Mount Rainier. We will receive a presentation. This is 10 minutes. And if you're presenting on this, that means 5 for you and 5 for us. All right, Alma, I'm going to pitch it to you and let me know who's here. And is there anything we need to know? I see the county permit has been approved. Go ahead.
So hello again. We are here to present the building permit for property 3001 Taylor Street. As you know, we've been looking forward to actually receiving this and making sure that Mr. Ovidio Zurita, who is the owner of the property, is in compliance with the building permit and able to start the work after county has approved the permits for him. Mr. Ovidio, if you can talk about your project, please.
So, Mr. Ovidio, the floor is yours. Let us know. Good evening. Thank you for being here. Let us know about your project and what is it?
Yes. Hello. Good evening. This is Ovidio. I'm here for the 3001 Taylor Street, Mount Rainier property to fix. I don't know how to say. My English is not good.
It's fine.
But I'm here to. I already have the permit, and I present the documents, the plans to Mrs. Alma, and for updating and to remove the stop working to start working there.
Okay. So what changes are you making to the house?
Not much. It just remove some walls and updating the put new drywall and new taps in the butts, and I think change the floors, and that is all.
Okay. Alma, is there anything we need to know? Any variances? Anything? Has the county cleared their permit? They're just waiting on us. So where are we with it?
So the county has cleared their permit. As he stated, they're really not doing much changing. The most of it will be inside the property. So everything is in order.
All right, perfect. Council, do we have any? Luke, can you give him the whole spiel?
Sure.
So, go ahead. Brian spiel.
Thank you for the work here. Please do not start work before 8 a.m. or after 8 p.m. Because we'll get angry calls from residents, and then we'll have to give angry calls to you. Please, some large trees on the property. I'm not sure if there are any on yours. It might be subject to the urban forest code that we have, and Alma can let you know if that's the case. You may have to protect those trees so that there's no heavy equipment stored on those roots. And if there is, if you're digging up large amounts of clay, of the orange clay, make sure they're not in mounds in an area like next to a neighbor's property or the street, where if there's a rainfall, it can create a bunch of sort of red clay going into neighbors' yards or out into the streets. So make sure that's sort of controlled on the property. And I think that's it.
Okay, so Mr. Ovidio, el concejal le dio bastante de las reglas que se necesitan hacer. Puedes contratarte con Ms. Alma Ferrufino para asegurarte que todo esté en orden, pero protegemos nuestros árboles bastante aquí. Asegúrate que si hay árboles, que sigas las reglas de protección de ellos. Y si son más grandes que ciertos centímetros, hay reglas que no se pueden cortar. Y aunque sean pequeños, tienes que protegerlos. Y la tierra, asegúrate que cuando la mueves, y especialmente si es de color como anaranjado, café por ahí, que sea protegida para que no se vaya al área de los vecinos, o que no se vaya, que se llama donde cae el agua para irse a la Chesapeake Bay. ¿ok? Pero Alma te va a dar toda esa información para asegurarte que sigan las reglas que necesitamos de la ciudad y por favor, no empezar el trabajo antes de la hora marcada o después, porque si no nos van a llamar a nosotros y si nos llaman a nosotros enojados, nosotros vamos a llamarte a ti enojadísimos, ¿ok? Perfecto,
Okay.
todo tranquilo.
Okay,
Va,
muchísimas
Alma, anything else to
gracias.
add?
No, Mayor, I think we covered all, and we'll make sure that we address a lot of those concerns with him tomorrow.
Okay, so mañana puedes ir a ver a Miss Alma, okay?
Okay, muchas gracias.
All right. Ten buenas noches.
Gracias.
Kira, you have to put your address. I'll let you go once and look what happens. All right. Ready translation for Alma speaks, Ms. Perfino speaks Spanish, so she's able to communicate with him in Spanish as well. So yeah. And I basically just I basically said the run through in Spanish as well. But thank you for catching that as well. Okay. Moving on to item number 6. Update discussion of city's rent stabilization. That's mine. I'm going to make it short and sweet. As you guys know, we passed our rent stabilization. The county passed their rent stabilization, so we passed ours while we got through the county dealing with their emergency rent stabilization. They're currently in talks to extend it for another 6 months, which means that we have to vote on the next meeting to extend ours as well. Okay, so that will fall under the counties for a lot longer time. That'll give the county some time to figure out what they're going to do, some time for us to figure out. But as far as I think at this point, it might be 6 months, which if it starts in mid of April, it will put us past this complete budget year that we currently are in. So we'll address it like more towards the end of the summer. Okay, so that's my spiel on it. And so basically, on the next legislative meeting, we'll vote to extend our pause on our rent stabilization. Okay? Any questions? Nope, we're good? All right. Thank you, guys. Moving on to ARPA update and discussion number 36. The Mayor and Council will discuss the status of ARPA's project. Mr. Kamali, is this you or who's going to be having a couple of updates on the document, or you want Luke to start?
No, I want Luke to start because he's the one that, he's the architect for that ARPA.
All right.
Planning,
Luke Chesek, do you need sharing capability?
But if you need my help, please let me know. I can just,
Luke, you're on mute. Do you need them to share your screen, Luke? Luke is
Hold on,
thinking.
I was just navigating between windows here. Give me a second.
Oh, before we know what's on your screen, Luke.
Yeah,
right.
Here is, I was pulling up an older one.
Okay.
Okay. Let me minimize you all. So I think these are the projects here. This is from January, the end of January. So I think this is the last one we did. All the projects in green are approved. So we've got 33rd and Perry, that's incorporated into the Memorial Park project.
And that's ongoing right now, right?
Yep. 31st and Perry, that's still targeted for 79,000 because of the 530 we got from the states. I don't know if we need to revisit that figure because the cost estimate there was 609,000, and I don't know if that's a figure that we need to revisit. Maybe we should flag that one for somebody to revisit.
Luke, can you give me one pause, Mr. Kamali? The next version of this document, can we go ahead on the right-hand corner or anywhere you need to put in this document, put how much money has been expended, or if there's any change like what Luke is talking about, and 2, if the money is no longer needed, we need to reallocate it for something else. Okay?
Can I respond, Mayor? That document is already sent to Luke, and I sent it to you over the weekend, Luke.
Okay.
We need the updated version of that.
Yeah, with the updated version, there is a last column added to your columns. that it gives you all the current spending and whether we need to allocate some of this ARPA or not.
Yeah, I think, guys, this is important. I'll tell you guys why. Last conversation that I had with you guys, and thank you, Mr. Kamali, for doing that document. It was important because we need to start making solid decisions. And if we need to get into contracts before the end of December. So ideally by September, the latest, we have the contracts that we need to do, and whatever money is not, we're gonna have to vote. And the option that we had all discussed is like vote to put all that money towards Potts Hall, whatever is not used, so that we have a contractual element attached to it. Because when the deadline comes, and if we have not done our due diligence to reallocate this money, we will have to return whatever has not been contractual. That means has to be a contract attached to it. We cannot just sit there and say, I'm thinking about buying stickers for May of next year, unless we have a contract says we're buying stickers for May for this specific reason. That money will be sent back, and you know how I feel about returning money. It's not happening under my watch. So in saying that, that's the reason why we did ask Mr. Kamali to make sure that the amounts were put so we could start having conversations and ideally vote on some things if we need to in the next meeting, and start moving lines of pockets where it needs to be. And we might have to do a cachet at the bottom that says Potts Hall, extra funding, so that way as we move them down, we're able to start zeroing some of those line items to move them. And the other thing is setting deadlines for some of the programs. So if we have program X, it's not going to be open to December. It has to be open probably until September. Let it go through the summer, and then in September we need to reallocate, because it gives us enough time to do our rotation, bring it out to the workstation, reallocate it, and put it into Potts Hall, and alert the community hey, if this fund is available for this is the last day you're able to submit an application. And remember, it takes about 2 weeks or so for the staff to approve it, and then shut the line item. So that's something that we're going to have to really come through this and start looking at deadlines of all of this. If the deadlines are in June to wrap it up with this fiscal year, then that's what we need to do. So that way they could close the books and we could move that money to the line item called Potts Hall B, or whatever you guys want to call it, right? So we could start putting all that money line item by line item in there. Okay. Luke, you found it, or where are we?
No, I haven't found it. So I would say that we Mr. Kamali has his hand raised.
Go ahead, Mr. Kamali.
It is also in your package, and I can have Melissa to pull it up if you guys want it. Yeah.
Go ahead and do it, because I definitely want to start having this discussion, because right now we are middle of March, so we don't have much time if we're trying to get some decisions by the end of this June.
Okay, Melissa, could you please bring the document? I think Melissa didn't hear me.
Melly, are you working on bringing that document up?
Yes, Mayor. I'm trying to reclaim the host.
I think I got it right here. I can pull it up.
Okay. Is Luke holding the hostage?
Yeah, I might be.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes,
oh yeah,
right
definitely
there.
that makes a little bit more difference.
Yes.
Okay, let's go through it. So Luke, floor is yours.
So 33rd and Perry, that money is allocated in with the Memorial Park project. 31st and Perry, the idea here, it says, Mr. Kamali, that your note was that we reallocate because we're using the 530. Does the 530 cover the cost now? We don't think it'll go up to the 609 figure that we had estimated earlier?
No, if you recall, right now we're working on the one way out to Eastern Avenue. The project has a reduction in cost. So I've been working very closely with LID. I think $530,000 from the Green Street, project is going to cover the whole project, and we don't need that $79,000. And I appreciate, as Mayor said, if we could divert this one to the Potts Hall.
Gotcha.
So Luke, can you create a line on the bottom of it let's showcase, how do you call it? Because on the next meeting, I'd like for us to vote to reallocate some of this money. So we and Mr. Kamali, can you make sure you make like a small little, instead of having this document, like a small little resolution that says ARPA funding for this, reallocating this towards Potts Hall, so that we could read it as a
Mayor,
bulletin document. Okay.
we have to do the same thing as a budget amendment for reallocation. You remember last year that we talked to the ARPA consultant and we get it ready for the next meeting.
Yeah. So we could lock in some of these items and move them off.
Okay. Our next one that we've approved is the Newton Street from 34th to 37th Street. We've expended 78,094 of the 922,000 estimate. Are we still good with that estimate?
Yes, we are, and right now we are in the stage of getting the DPI the permit, and based on the cost estimate that I have from LID Center, we should be good. And so far we have spent $78,000.
Okay.
Okay. So Mr. Kamali put a separate note that says, how do you call it? No change or something along those lines. Okay.
Thank you.
So that we know that we're not asking money to be changed at this point.
Exactly. The one that I needed to be changed, I put a note next to it, but I will add this one to it too.
Yeah. And look, if you could put the date for today, it definitely will help so we could track it as well. Okay.
Okay.
Because it's like a living document that makes life easier for us. And thank you for your patience. I apologize for going because I don't want to go back and it's going to take longer. Thank you.
The climate resilience and stormwater mitigation, urban tree planting. Do we need to follow up with the tree commission here?
Well, we are, and right now they are planning to have those trees for the spring due to the winter weather. But 20,000 is good. The contract is there, and we're waiting for the contractor to come and start using the money.
Okay.
And put the date. Thank you.
Yeah.
You type fast, Luke. You're gonna give you an A+. How many words per minute, Luke?
Nah, I don't even know. All right, Thomas Stone, are we good? We've expended the 20.
Yeah, we're good. We're good, and we're waiting for the school to spend the 20,000, but they don't need more than that. And we are in a good communication with both.
Gotcha.
Thomas Stone and
I'm sure they'll spend every penny, even if they have to go buy like little tiny flowers.
And they're planning to do it this summer, Mayor. Before.
Yeah, it's easier because that way the kids out of school, it's like less disturbing.
And this money, this already went out the door, right?
Yeah, this one, the $50,000 was in phase one, and right now we have the ARPA consulting to have the agreement for additional $36,000 to jobs.
So that's already spent, right, Mr. Kamali?
The 50,000, yes, and they're planning to have the agreement executed, and then we start having them using the $36,000. So we should be good for December 31st.
Perfect. And that one says Kamali and Carlo. Can you change it to Benitez? For Jimmy, we're gonna go find you, Jimmy. Jimmy's gonna be like, leave me alone.
Okay, and then the small business grant.
Small business, you guys allocated 70 first. We had 50, then we put out another 20,000, and we spent only 60. We're asking you to reallocate the difference, which is $10,000.
Okay.
Okay, that's good to know. We'll add this all up at the end.
Sure.
Food security.
So far,
we're gonna
have
spend. Yeah.
No, Mayor, go ahead. That's your.
Oh, we're gonna spend every single little bit of it. Food is expensive, so we have a plan. So yeah.
Okay. The rental relief.
Well, we had $55,000, but we spent only $54,607.44, The
Wow.
difference is 392.56 needs to be reallocated.
Question. Do you guys want to open one more round for this, or how are you guys feeling?
Well, I'm not feeling too good because we have so many projects going on, and again, it's up to mayor and council, but time is of the essence because of the, deadline.
I would like to reallocate not a whole entire money, but even if we put some money aside so that way in case it's needed. So if we could put $20,000 aside, out of the 390, is that $392?
Yeah.
$392, Mayor. It's less than $500.
Forget it. I missed one period, Mr. Kamali. Never mind.
And we have a big project at.
No, you're good.
Yeah, thank you.
You're good. My apologies. I thought it was a lot bigger. I missed the period. Sorry.
Okay, Richardson Park. Today we send the RFP to the city attorney, and we're planning to use the entire 150 and 105 from the DNR. So the project should be completed this summer.
Okay.
And Mayor Rocio and I working on that project, and we're gonna get it done.
Yeah, let me know if there's more money needed, Mr. Kamali, because that's our only park, and it's gonna be a while before we get more money for that.
No, we're good. We got $255,000. We're good.
Perfect. Thank you.
Sure.
Okay, the social worker.
Social worker, we're gonna use 120K. We're good. So far, we have spent 50,000, and I'll talk to Ron Wilson to make sure that by December 31st, the rest of it is exhausted.
Okay.
And the vaccine incentives, I see we can reallocate the 10,000.
Yeah, we talked to Mayor, and we should reallocate that one, please.
Yeah, that was fine because we got incentives for like other people, and then they cover that.
Okay. And the
hazard pay, that was originally 262, but we forgot to include one of the officers, so we had to come back and pay 10,450, which was a total of 272,450. So we need to bring $10,450 to the original 262.
Perfect. So can we make a note in a different color, Luke? That means like we need to add money to that one.
Yeah,
I was gonna say in the box where it says needed, because I don't want you to change with the green one. The green one is go.
Okay, hold on a second. It's gonna add that red.
Yes. Thank you. Perfect. Program manager, the whole amount relocated, Mr. Kamali?
Yes, we don't need it because I appreciate Melissa and myself. We're running all the project, and we should be fine.
Okay.
And we don't need that 200K, so we can get it to Potsdam, please.
Okay.
ARPA Consulting. First, we allocated for 3 years, but with all of this project, we need to have him another 2 years. So we need to have $50,000 more, which would bring it to $150,000 for 5 years, $30,000 per year, $2,500 per month.
Okay.
This one, the 3300 block in Memorial Park.
We have spent so far $431,000 because we use the MHAA grant and DHCD 300,000. We're going to spend all the money that is allocated, 1 million, by hopefully end of April this year. So the project will be completed hopefully by next month. So we don't need anything, and we should be fine.
Don't forget to add the year, the month, the day.
I'm going to do it at the top of the
Yeah, I was
column.
going to say, go back and clean it up later. Luke, thank you. I appreciate you doing this.
Yep.
Potsdam, we yeah, we have not spent any 1 million, but phase one is gonna be finished in June. So we have to use that money, and we're gonna use the 1 million because we've been using the loan that we had from the bank. So
Yeah.
right now, they're trying to finalize the project phase one, and the 1 million will be spent by sometimes in June. We're good. We're good about that one. But we need more money, as you all know it.
And the
Insurance building, it was allocated 45,000. We spent 403.40, and the difference is $596.60 that needs to be reallocated.
okay.
So, go ahead.
Melinda Miles, the building, we did 150, and 150 is already gone.
So,
And then
Luke,
the scholarship, Mayor.
So I was gonna ask you for a favor, color coordination. Green could be like, or the color, the work that's being done right now. And can you change the color of green to a different color projects that are already completed? And just write maybe on the left-hand side completed or something, so that way we know what projects are ongoing.
Gotcha.
You see how like the Melinda Miles building, right? That money's already spent and gone. So that could be, it could be completed and put a different color on it, so that we know, because we have more of a sense of what projects have been finished and what's on deck right now.
Gotcha.
Insurance building too, Mayor.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, the scholarship, the mayor, we done 42, and we got a total of
We're gonna spend
105.
every single penny of that into education for children. So leave that alone. We will find those children. Young adults.
By co-op, it was 16,000. The project is complete. 16,000 is gone.
Got it.
Operation Arts, it was 5,000, and we have to pay them another $500 by June. So we already gave them 4,500, and we have to pay them. So we're good. 5,000 is good.
So right now it says 4,500. So we need $500 more, Mr. Kamali?
No. It was 5,000 allocation. We have given them
yes.
only
My
4,500.
apology. I see what you mean. Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Police computers.
Police computers. So thank to Chief Austin, we got 2 grants that it covered the $55,000. And we don't need that. So we are taking that money. As you remember, 150,000 we need for the basement of the police station. So that 55,000 will go toward that expenditure.
Towards basement, Mr. Kamali, so it'll be a different note right there. So it'll be like reallocate 55,000 to basement.
Right.
So when Luke finishes this one, that way when you do the budget amendment, you're able to put that between the stuff, okay?
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
So we'll have to add a new line item for the basement remodel and vote on that then?
Yes.
Yes, please. If you don't have a full-time job, Luke, this could be like your part-time job.
Yeah. Police uniforms.
Hold on, wait. Can we have 10 minutes added to the line item, please?
So moved.
Seconded.
Discussion, objection, abstentions, here none. 10 minutes. Go ahead.
Police uniforms. We have spent 25,546, and we're good. 36,500 is good, so no changes. By co-op 4,000, that was the budget for them. So far, we have spent 2,434.98. We should be good.
Yeah, and if by any chances they don't spend that money, by
Definitely.
deadline, it's being transferred. So let them know they have X amount of time, so that way we're able to do the change. Because I think that it has to be,
Mayor,
Okay.
usually they do a lot of purchase during the summer before June the 30th. So the big invoice comes, sometimes in April or May. So I'm sure
Perfect.
that 4,000 is going to be gone.
Thank you so much.
Sure. The street and sidewalk, we're just waiting for the execution of the agreement of SS4A. and that $100,000 will go toward the 20% match. So we should be fine.
Okay. Throne.
Okay, thrown so far 6,167. The 30,000 is good, so we should be fine. That's only for 12 months. And then we go to home improvement. So far, we have spent 20,955, and the budget was 150. We should be fine.
Hey, do me a favor for this one, Valerie, Mr. Kamali. You guys have to put a deadline on when it finishes. Okay? Because that way the residents know they have until pick a date when it finishes to give us enough time to do the budget amendment measures in case there's any money left.
I think some
So if
people
you guys claim as September or whatever you guys choose to, like, pick a date so that way they know when to submit the last forms.
will do.
And then that way we reallocate if there's any money left, but it gives us enough time to do the budget amendment because budget amendments take more than one meeting. So, okay, cool, Valerie. Yes.
Yeah, that's fine. Mr. Kamali, I would just ask to work with you in communications just to kind of push out the program a little more so that people are aware of it. And then I think we could set a deadline. We can work on that.
I think people are waiting for a good weather. Some people, they're waiting to, winter to be over. And I think, by June, we are at the better, position. But definitely, I'll let you know and whatever we can do.
Yeah, but the next round of communications put a deadline. So hopefully that means they will hurry up a little bit more because it's still like 130,000 estimate to be spent on that line item. Okay. Thank you both.
Okay, I'm gonna try to clean this up and get final figures here to everyone.
Okay.
And before you go, look, I just want to let you know that the actual ARPA allocation was 5.4. I sent you the exact figure.
Okay.
So you got at the bottom that you have 5,114,000. You're short about, I believe, 300 something. So I give you the exact number that we received, 5.4 something. Sorry, I just
If you can send it to him, it will help, and then Luke will go ahead and add, subtract, and then get our team internally also to do the numbers so we could balance. But if we could have the first reading of the budget changes coming up soon, it definitely will help so we could at least move some of those things out of the way. And Luke, you'll pick a different color, right, for the items that are complete, whatever other color you want that's not green.
And I may move this to Excel just so it can start doing some of the calculations itself, and it'll be a little bit cleaner looking.
Thank you, Luke, for doing this. You know how much I love color coordinating / Excel / extra notes and dates everywhere.
Yeah, we'll get there.
It's only been 7 years working with me, right, Luke? Only.
Yeah, exactly.
7 long years. All right, perfect. Let me see. There was something else. There was something else we were gonna do, guys, that is not there. Remember, we're gonna work on, Mr. Kamali, when it comes to grants for the nonprofits, we were gonna put some money aside for it. So we need to finalize that document, okay, to bring it back up. So that's the only expense that we were thinking of, and it's not gonna be a big one. It's gonna be for sure under 50,000. Okay.
And the mayor will also have the business interruption fund.
Yeah, that one, another one that is not missing.
So can we, Luke and I, can we both aim at trying to see if we could bring it up so that way, like, we could get it clear?
I was gonna bring it up for the April legislative session for a vote there because we've talked about it enough, and I was just.
You will do that. Make my meeting longer. Thank you, Luke.
Sorry.
Okay, so Mr. Kamali, can we aim at it because we got all the documents from Commerce Manor anyway, so our people could look at it to figure out what it looks like.
Yep.
So thank you to Commerce Manor City Manager and Mayor for providing their documents to us, and we could do something very much mirroring that fits us in order to put it out. But okay, so we're gonna aim, Luke, at doing it for the legislative session so we could have those numbers in front of us. So that way Mr. Kamali could be clear on what to put. I think we already talked about the amount anyway, so that we could add it to the bottom of the document. Okay.
Yeah, we'll do.
But again, we're gonna have to put deadlines, Luke, both me and you, to get it out, because ideally I would like to wrap up more of this. Mr. Kamali takes 2 readings, right, and a vote, right?
Yep.
So that's about 2 months, guys. So trying to get that out. And do remember, phase 2 has already been approved. So I need to make sure we have some money allocated so we got clarity. And the last thing I need is for our team to be scrambling December 31st, trying to submit documents in, because they have a new reports coming up very soon. Mr. Kamali said in April.
No, it's
or May.
March 31st, and we're ready to go, Mayor. You know, everything is ready, and we're gonna do the 3rd year, reporting. And here, I just want to say thank you to Melissa and the finance team for getting everything organized. So we have everything, and in case if we ever get audit, from the Treasury Department, we got everything laid down. There's nothing to be worried, and everything is very, very, clear, and we're good.
Thank you for that, because I'll tell you this, based on what all of us heard at NLC, they were very clear. Keep all your documents in order, store, for at least 5 years, because they could come out and ask at any moment. And they have heavily trusted us to have this money, right? But we keep fighting for more money allocated the same exact way, but they're going to make sure that every cent is accounted for. So we appreciate the hard work the team has put through to get us there. And we'll go ahead and give the final push on our end to make sure that anything legislative you need, Mr. Kamali, let us know so we could make it happen, okay?
Sure. Definitely.
All right. So in saying that, Council, we're good right now, right? Because I'm going to move to the next item, okay? So thank you, Luke, as well, for being keeping us on everything little and big that I asked you for. Thank you. All right, moving on to the next item. Oh yeah, you have to release the hosting capability. Let it go. Let it
I
go.
thought I did. I thought I let it go.
Oh.
What happened?
In the meantime, I will tell you that the essays from the kids from around the state, they were wonderful. And our schools did submit essays. I'm not allowed to read them because it's my district, but I heard that they submitted from our schools, right? That's the only thing they could tell us. And tomorrow, 10 mayors are going to be the finalist readers, and every district, every school district gets one winner. And then they get to get a prize certification and go meet with the governor at the governor's at the Capitol. So yeah, so it's pretty cool.
Okay, City of Mount Rainier should be host now.
Okay. Got it, Melly? Thank you. All right, presentation of minutes. The city clerk will present the following minutes for us, or to us. February 2024 work session, March 2nd, 2024 community conversation, intersession 31st and Perry. Perry Street, not streets. March 5th, 2024 legislative meeting. So read through them, send information. Remember, they're minutes, not like word by word what we say. And Melly, thank you so much for keeping us up to date. It's beautiful to see like minutes like of the meetings coming through on time, okay? All right, moving on to item number 9. But before item number 9, can I read the community updates? Our budget hearing will take place this Saturday, March 23rd at 9:30 a.m. Mayor and council staff will be in the building, our current city hall, while the residents will be virtually. The building is very, very, very small. So therefore, we barely even fit in here, okay? The egg hunt will take place April 6th from 11 to 2 p.m. at the Mount Rainier Nature Center. The community health and resource fair will take place April 20th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Mount Rainier Nature Center. The Creation Committee will be having a cleanup day that same exact day from 10:30 to 12 p.m. So you could do a little bit of both, health fair and come up and clean up and have brunch. And the brunch will take place at J&J Taqueria. Mount Rainier Day will be on May 18th from 11 to 5 p.m. and it'll take place at the Mount Nature Center. Mr. Hines, 9:30 in the morning. 9:30 in the morning, I said at the beginning. But so it's gonna follow after the public hearing, then we're gonna open up a meeting and have a line by eye discussion of our beautiful, lovely budget. Okay. All right. So thank you to the whole entire team for making sure we're doing everything, because aside from being a very heavy budget season, they're working with ARPA, they're working with $9.7 million and making sure that any document that they could come in, they get it on, and anything that is related to grants and oh my God, the list is gone. Thank you to the whole entire staff for making sure we bring money in. Thank you for all the council members and for all of you guys that have worked in getting funding in. I appreciate you guys. There's been a lot of lobbying going on. It will still be on. And I'll close with this before the adjournment. Crossover day was Monday. So that's the other reason why I'm also freaking tired, because all the bills that crossed over by midnight. So at least for MML, 2 of our priority bills, including the tourist bill and the camera one, passed on to the next round, not to fight them in the other chamber. So we still have a couple more months to go. The Persimmon bill that we also supported to be the state fruit also passed the first round, is going out to the other chamber. So that's just some of them, but there's so much also for the Gateway Economic Authority that went from one, it's gone to the other. So I still have a lot of lobbying to do in order to make sure we get some of that funding and have our voice heard. So thank you to the whole team for supporting me, and that allows me to go and have sometimes even 6 hours away for me to testify on behalf of the city. All right. So in doing that, item number 9, adjournment. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion.
Seconded. All right. Any discussion, objection, abstention? Hearing none. This meeting has come to an end at 8:42. Have a wonderful night, everyone. And I'll see you guys soon. Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye, staff. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Night.
Good night.